to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
Ebro, Laura, Rosenberg.
True.
This morning, we want to get you all caught up on ranked choice voting. We're doing it different right here in New York City in June, where you get to put down at least 5 candidates, your top 5. And we have Omar Suarez representing NYC Votes. And I think, Omar, you were saying you work for the Campaign Finance Board too, or is that all the same thing?
It's the same thing. Campaign Finance Board, that's the agency. NYC Votes is the initiative. You know, that's the campaign to get people to vote and to participate.
So ranked choice voting, this was something that whom picked? Because when I first heard about it, I was like, yo, why y'all changing stuff now?
Right.
Like I felt like we was just getting momentum with people going out to vote a little bit about some things, and now y'all want to switch it up.
Yeah, well, okay, so off the bat, I should say this was put to the voters back in 2019. This isn't something that was just mandated by the government. This was put to the voters in 2019 as a ballot question. Yes or no, do you want ranked choice voting? Here's what it is. And like 74% said yes throughout all the boroughs. So it was pretty wide support. This was put to the voters and they said yes.
And so, and what ballot was this on? Like, what else were we voting for at this time? Do you remember?
2019, it wasn't a lot. You know, it's not a main. There were like some more local elections that year. I think some like district attorneys, but that's why it's important, you know, to always check the back of the ballot, see what questions are on there. But it's here, you know, it's here. It's being implemented. Right now, we just want to make sure that people understand how it works, how to use it, and how it's going to kind of impact our elections moving forward.
So I walk into my voting place, do my due diligence, show my name or whatever, and I get my ballot. On the ballot, it has all the candidates listed, and I get to pick my top 5, correct?
Yes. So simply put, it's a new way to elect our representatives. You can now rank up to your top 5. You can still vote for one person like you used to, but now you have the option to rank a second choice, a third choice, a fourth choice, a fifth choice. I mean, I'll explain why it's important to do that or why that might have a benefit in a second. But I'll also say this is it's meant to address the issue of, you know, spoiler candidates. I don't know if you have heard that, or also splitting. Okay, so let's say if you ever heard of splitting the vote, where you have a community, let's say Black voters, Hispanic voters, or any block of voters, and you have multiple candidates that's appealing to that block of voters, to that community, that vote can split and be divided between multiple
it weakens
candidates.
That block.
Correct. And so what ranked choice voting does is you can like rank those choices so that in case you might go for Laura Stiles first, Ebro second, but then Laura Stiles falls off, she gets eliminated because she comes in last place, and then everyone unites behind Ebro. So the way it works is you rank your top 5, all the votes get counted. If somebody gets a majority of those first choices, then they win. And that's good because that means that person got a majority. But we have seen a lot over the years where there's a lot of candidates running, you know, 8, 9 candidates, and somebody might win with 25% of the vote, 30% of the vote. That's the way it works in the old system. But that means like 70% of people didn't vote for them, didn't support them.
Yeah, right.
So
because that's what happened with De Blasio happened like that, right? Like he didn't
he just barely hit the threshold.
And he just barely hit the threshold and won, right?
Yeah, he barely hit the threshold. This happened with Tish James when she was running for public advocate. But yeah, so I think even a better example of Jumaane Williams, he just won a special election not that long ago with a pretty low percentage, because there were so many candidates. Maybe he would have won a higher percentage with fewer candidates, but because there were so many people running, the top person only got like 20% or something like that. It was pretty low. So ranked choice voting, it kind of gives a way to say, okay, what if you actually let those other people decide who they would have preferred between the top people? So if you get to a space where there's no majority, then you start eliminating the lowest vote getters. The person who's at the bottom of that list with the fewest votes, they get moved off, and then people who voted for that person would go to their second choice. And then you keep doing that until you get to your final two and somebody's going to have a majority. That's the whole point, is to make sure that the person that ends up winning has the biggest mandate, the biggest, the broadest support.
Okay. And I've heard this is obviously we're not the first city to do this. But you as somebody that works for the finance, what is it, New York City Finance?
Campaign Finance Board.
Yeah, campaign finance. What is the turnout usually when you're talking about, eligible voters, registered voters, and actual turnout in mayoral elections? I hear it's very low for New York City, or it has been historically.
That unfortunately that has been the case. We've been seeing like a big drop off. We always have the mayoral election and the citywide election right after the presidential, and people are just fed up with elections. I think especially after last year. But we want to combat that and make sure that people who came out last year stay excited and keep voting this year. But typically, we might get a quarter of the voters.
So 25% of registered voters in New York City show up to vote for the mayor race.
Typically around there, yeah. I mean, it's not high enough, to tell you the truth. Like, we really should be looking more at local elections, because mayor, comptroller is the person that controls basically the money, the pension fund. City council passes the laws. These are important positions, and so people really should be. We need everyone, young people, people of color, low income voters. These are groups that tend to be underrepresented, and so we do need to influence them and educate them and motivate them to come out and vote. I mean, that's part of the reason.
That's your organization's primary initiative, right? Beyond, governing this, but also marketing this and getting the word out, correct?
Yeah, I mean, so we're doing ad campaigns, we're doing mailings, texting voters, we're doing events, trainings, virtual events. Right now, it's still been hard with in-person events, with the pandemic, but virtual, we reached over 5,000 people with trainings directly. And we're sending out mailing postcards, that explains ranked choice voting to every single person that's registered to vote throughout the city. We got our website, voting.nyc, voting.nyc. You could get anything you need about voting, where to vote.
I ain't gonna lie. That site, voting.nyc, Laura Stiles put me onto that site. I go to that site all the time because I forget dates. Didn't we just have like the cutoff for voter registration might be today?
It's this Friday. It's this Friday.
This Friday.
So please amplify that, promote that.
I got that from voting.nyc.
Boom.
That's where I learned it.
Yo, my only question is, so just how many candidates should people really know about when they show up to vote for mayor? If you want to be a responsible voter, how many candidates should you really, I know in theory, all of them, but no. How many people do people really need to be able to support?
Just looking at mayor, for example, they're going to be 13 on the ballot. Ranked choice voting, you can rank up to 5. But anywhere between, if you want to vote for just the one, you can do that, or up to 5 to rank. I mean, I think anything in.
And if you want to do 3, you could do 3.
Anything in between. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could do any of those numbers.
Got it. All right, cool.
Yeah, and I know some people are like, if I just like one person, can I just vote for, that's fine. You can do that. It just gives you the option to have a second choice as a backup option. It's a plan B.
All right. So the deadline to register to vote is this Friday?
Yes. Please promote that. Make sure people register. You could do it online. Voting.nyc. We have our Turbo Vote link. where you could do it online through the DMV, or you can go to your post office, grab a paper form, and many other ways. So definitely want to promote that by Friday. If you're not registered, register. If you're already registered, you're good.
There it is. Omar, it's been a pleasure, man.
Thanks, Omar.
Yeah, NYC Votes. Y'all remember rank choice voting. Do your research on your top 5 candidates. Rank them in order of your preference. It's a great thing. It's a new thing. And y'all know when it comes to new things, we're all a little hesitant. Like, why they changing it now? But it is what it is, and we got to get out there and get it done, man. Thank you, Omar.
Thanks, Omar.
All right, peace.
Peace.